Welcome back. As we earlier said, today is a very special topic. Of course, it's about change, and who doesn't want to change? Change towards the best, and to changing yourself into the better, taking yourself to total new levels. Of course, this is the aim of everyone. Change is the concern of every human being. Change in all its forms. Change to the better in your career, change in the better in concerning your social life, changing to the better concerning your capabilities, your standards, your livelihood, and everything. Today we're going to be talking about the culture of change in its own right, and also its impact on societies and individuals. To shed more light on this topic, we're very much delighted to be having with us here live in the studio Dr. Shahira Gayyar. Of course, she is a change management and developing human capabilities consultant. Good morning, Dr. Gayyar.
Good morning.
I was really overwhelmed when I heard about the topic. And we were talking before air about the importance of change. Of course, all of us would like to change. But like you said, there are buttons that we have to press. We have to be in full realization and knowledge of those buttons in order to be able to effect change around us. If you like to elaborate over this.
That's true. The thing about change that it's inevitable. Change is going to happen anyway. Your choice is to try to manage change and direct it towards the target or the aim you'd like yourself to change. If you don't change or you don't decide to change, you'll change anyway. But in a different direction that's not planned, that does not serve your life targets or your aims or your career path. If we're talking about work or the workplace, most people have problems continuing to change. Usually a person would like to impose change or start a development or something new in his or her life, and they start and then they do not complete. Along the way, sometimes very soon they stop or they get distracted. If you want to continue your journey of change, you have to be ready for the journey before you start. We human beings have certain motivation tools or certain reasons to change. Sometimes you know why you want to change, and yet you do not continue. Sometimes you don't know why you are changing, but it just happens to you. Either way, you need to be ready for this change. There are things that make us ready for a change, like the usual question, what's in it for me? How do I benefit from this? Also, we have something that's called self-efficacy. It's simply about your belief. That
the ethics.
Not exactly. It's something like your belief. It's the cousin of self-confidence. It's how you believe that you are able to do this thing, believing in yourself that you're going to continue with this change till the end. You know, we have self-efficacy, we have self-esteem, we have self-confidence. When we are discussing change, the most important of them three is the self-efficacy. It's about the know-how to impose or to do this change.
Let me stop here and ask you, because these are very important terms. Self-efficacy and self-esteem and self-confidence. Of course, we know about self-confidence, but we need also to define it. But let us start with self-esteem. It's very important.
Okay.
How do we build self-esteem in our siblings or in ourselves? How is it built?
Your self-esteem is basically about your self-image originated from within. Each one of us has a set of ethics, a code of conduct, rules that you abide by in life, your own rules. You get them from culture, from religion, from family, from school. These are your values, your own personal values with the right mix.
Do people give it to me?
Excuse me?
Do I attain it from people? I earn it from society, or are you born with it?
You get it from the environment around you, not necessarily people.
From
the
my
things
actions,
you watch and you
successes.
observe, your experiences in life. As a child, of course, in the formative years, you get it from family. But each of us, we take all these components within, we mix them, we get something very special for every one of us. Each one has his or her unique set of values and ethics and boundaries that you abide with. Sometimes we do not abide with these boundaries. Sometimes we do things that we consider mistakes or even sins, according to us. So the more I abide to my own rules, the better, or like I safeguard my self-esteem. If I do mistakes according to me, not to others, if I do something I consider that's not right, it's wrong, even if nobody knows, but I know, so my self-esteem goes down. And then it goes up if I do something right, something good. It's my self-image from within. This is self-esteem. Self-confidence we get from others. When others tell us good things about ourselves, they praise us or they criticize us. So the level of our self-confidence rises and decreases according to others. So this is self-esteem and self-confidence. What about self-efficacy? Self-efficacy is a little belief for each and everything we try to do, especially if it's challenging. The know-how, or my belief that I will acquire knowledge and skill to do whatever I'm aiming to do. For example, I want to learn how to drive, or I'm learning a new language, or I'm aiming for a promotion at work, or I need to buy a new car. The self-efficacy is when I believe that I can do it, and I know or will be able to know how to do it. So
how do I earn or attain? How do I attain? Let me put it that way. How do I attain the knowledge of self-efficacy?
Efficacy,
From
self-efficacy. Self-efficacy, in this era we live in, knowledge is very easy to acquire, either just information or the skill itself. You name it, anything that you want to change about yourself. Many people now, they are interested in human development. For example, there are changes very much related to the way we think. And this is the most important thing now, because we are in the era of intellect. People think that we are in the era of technology and artificial intelligence and so on. No, we are beyond this. If you want to be something in this life, you have to focus on intellect.
Intellect.
Yes, we are behind. Technology and artificial intelligence is a reality now.
But can I tell you something?
Yes.
Most of the people who make booming careers, and people who succeed profoundly,
yes,
they have no intellectual background at all. They have no awareness, nothing. They just know they
Are
have
you
the know-how.
talking about booming, money booming?
Money, yes.
Yes, money
or
booming.
even leading positions, not leading positions, but people who know how to reach to their goals. Not necessarily they can be intellectual.
Yes.
They might be opportunists. They might be people who are seizing opportunities, seizing situations, taking advantages of something,
some cases.
doing unethical, they have no boundaries, or but let us go back to our own, because you're talking about very important definitions. So it's self-efficacy, right?
Efficacy.
Okay. So I thought that self-efficacy, I take it from being empowered by the people who love me, by the people who support me. I thought that way.
This is self-confidence.
Self-confidence. By efficacy,
yes,
it's how I become in knowledge.
It could be family support, social support, culture support.
And that would lead me to self-esteem, my own self-esteem.
Self-esteem is going on.
It's about me.
Yes, this is what the self-esteem is, simply what you think about yourself.
So self-empowerment or self-confidence is going to lead of a good self-esteem of myself. And self-efficacy, it is how I work on myself to be able to develop with my capabilities,
This is
right?
partially correct. Let me say something here. Self-confidence and self-esteem are both very beneficial to our mental and psychological well-being. But if you have self-confidence, it does not necessarily mean that you have a high level of self-esteem. Sometimes people do some things wrong or evil or unethical, and it's hidden. They don't know, the skeletons in the closet. And the people around you think that you are a great person, and they are praising and they are cheering, and you're very successful, you're very wealthy, but deep within, you don't like yourself. So your self-esteem is low. That's why many celebrities and many public figures, they have depression. Sometimes they commit suicide. And though they are celebrated widely in their community and their society. So they have self-confidence.
I can be professional and I can be good at what I'm doing, but at the same time, I might have a very low self-esteem.
Yeah, psychopath, people who are anti-social, their self-esteem is relatively high because they have no sense of guilt. They have no sense of guilt. They might commit crimes, do evil things, and they are okay with it because they are sick. But normal people, when they do something that they do not approve of according to them, this self-esteem goes down. Sometimes people do some good deeds, even in hidden situations, some charity work that nobody knows about. You do something good to some person and nobody knows about. This booms your self-esteem.
Exactly. But the importance of this is that it might be used as a means or way to, educate people and train them on how to qualify their siblings, their sons and daughters, to empower them to be better.
This is developing human capabilities.
Developing human capabilities. I mean, to let them have a good self-esteem of themselves and grow confidence in themselves, and teach them how to develop with their capabilities, to change themselves. If they cannot, attain a certain goal, they try to empower them through those means to be able to attain that goal in the right way. How do we do that?
See, a simple way of thinking about it, let's agree upon something. Nothing could be done without thinking about it. Everything starts with a thought. Even dreams, they are little pieces of nice, lovely thoughts. So if I need to change, I need to be motivated with either of two things. We are created, all living beings are created with two main motives, either to gain or avoid pain. So if I want to change, it's either that I'm avoiding something that's painful, I don't want it to happen again to me, so I need to change myself or change something, or I want to gain something that is good, I consider good for me. I want to gain money, I want to gain recognition, I want to gain comfort, whatever. So I need to magnify the motive, to enlarge it, to make it, like the fuel, the energy that motivates me to move on and on and on till I reach the target. So when I recognize my motive, or somebody helps me to recognize my motive, and it has to be my motive, I'm not doing it for someone else, because if my mom and dad, for example, or my community or society, my husband, my wife wants me to do something, I will proceed for a while, but eventually I'll get distracted and I will not complete the journey to change. But if it's my own motive, so I'm carrying it all the time with me, I'm renewing my motivation all the time subconsciously. Change is a project.
Change is a project.
We need to have a plan, like project management. We need to have a plan, we need to have resources, we need to build up momentum and stages. It's a science. making change a reality, it's a science. Usually change is a dream, is a plan. People do not complete the journey to change. That's why they get frustrated.
They do not complete probably because they fail, they continue to fail. Like when you are attaining, you need to attain success, we need to attain a certain career, you need to success in your study or your education, but you're continuously failing. Your capabilities is lower than your motive. I mean, you have a motive, you have a dream, but probably your capabilities a little bit less, and this is something is out of your hands.
Let's stop at failure here. You fail only when you stop trying. Failure, I believe that failure is only the experience that precedes success. Sometimes we try something and it does not work out. We try it again with another tool or another plan or in another time, in a different context, and it works.
Exactly. That is the magical,
yes,
the magical alternative. So alternatives are the exit for failure. I mean, if there is another plan, another exit, another door, another direction, another path, so that I can be able, I mean, people do not choose to fail, but sometimes I fail in my career because I applied for so many jobs, and then of course the certain criteria that they would accept me for that job is not, I mean, I do not fit in with the criteria.
Yep.
That's why I fail. So there is nothing in my hand to do it.
In such a case, the answer is to develop or upgrade your capabilities. Let's talk hypothetically. Maybe you haven't written the CV in the proper way. You know, HR people, CV is number 14 in our interests in the person. What's really important is other experiences, other personal attributes and capabilities. Like, for example, if you need someone to work in a sales position, and that person has the proper education and has graduated with honor, it's not a must that we would hire that person as a sales junior entry level. This person has to be dynamic, extrovert, has very good communication skills, verbally is good, the attire, the self confidence. Esteem does not show, but we need self-confidence, the ability to learn, many things. So this person is applying for a sales job, and he's an excellent and an A grade student, and he thinks that he'll get the job because he's well educated. So
exactly,
this is not the failure point, or this is not the rejection point. The rejection point is your personality. You need to work on your personality if you want to work sales or public relations or front office.
Exactly, exactly. But then again, it is one of the missions of the parents. I'm talking mainly about someone who is bringing up to the society a good, successful character. That is one of the main concerns when we talk about development with capability. Of course, it has many fields, but I'm here concerned about that particular side of society, bringing up successful characters to society, bringing up your children. Sometimes you need to know how to fulfill the mission. You need to get well instructed by people like you. You need to know the keys, like you talked about in the beginning.
We're talking parenting now.
Parenting, yes.
Yes.
Do we call this parenting?
Of
Maybe
course.
it's not parenting. Maybe
sometimes we have to parent ourselves in order to parent
and maybe
kids.
also you could parent you could parent friends. You could parent someone that you
see
are taking care of.
There is a science that's called we use it. That's called psychofertology. Psychofertology is a science that deals with normal psychology and the human abilities in the normal ways. It does not talk about diseases or mental diseases. It studies people within norm and their points of strength. okay? It could be at work, it could be at home, it could be as a parent or as a child. All of us, we play different roles in life. If you are at work, then your boss is your parent and you're the child.
Exactly, this is what I'm talking about.
There's always a parent-child relationship. Elsewhere, you might be the parent and a child.
Exactly.
It does not mean that you are a biological parent.
This is what I'm talking about.
So, parenting in its, traditional or orthodox meaning, it means that when a person has a child and I'm raising up that kid.
Not necessarily.
But we are all practicing parenting all the time with people that we are responsible for, or people that we are responsible for their outcome.
Exactly.
Like if you're a manager, you are parenting your subordinates.
Exactly.
So it starts with, again, the thoughts. You need to know where you're going. So you'll be able to choose the way, your tools, your resources. You need to develop yourself. Let's go back to change. Change could be transitional. It's changing or moving from one state to another. Or it could be in a sort of development. I'm okay now, I'm good, but I want to be better. I'm developing. I'm reducing flaws, because everything in life has its drawbacks, its flaws. We are not in utopia or heaven. This is planet Earth. So there is always room for improvement. And sometimes we induce or impose transformational change. That's a complete revolution in something. You turn it upside down. You delete it and you start.
Makeover.
Yes, does not have to be in a sort of makeover. Sometimes it's demolition. You
explode
the whole thing and you start all over again. Could be in money issues, in relationships, in work, anything. So everything starts with your thought. If you manage change, you need to start with planning first. I plan the whole journey and beyond. When I reach this place where I want to reach in change, I need to have in mind the next stop. There is a Walt Disney animation movie called Nemo.
Nemo, of course.
It was pretty much about parenting.
Very important phrases
yes,
by Nemo.
Yeah, the last scene in that movie was then with the
Very
fishes.
sad.
They succeeded to escape, but they were in plastic bags. So their aim was to escape the clinic, the fish tank in the clinic, but they didn't look beyond. So we need to have a change target and beyond. So first I plan, and then I allocate or I gather my resources. Who would help me? What type of knowledge do I need to acquire? Who would coach my change? And I need to have stops. You don't eat a sandwich on one bite. You eat it one little tiny bite by another. Also, roads are step by step. So you need to count your steps, and you need to celebrate your little achievements. You need to remind yourself how it will be great to reach the goal. All these things that we help the person in the process of change to go along the journey. Also, you need to monitor yourself or have someone monitoring you, like when you go to a dietitian to lose weight or improve your health or fitness. After you reach your goal, you need to maintain. You need to keep it.
Unfortunately, we ran out of time. I feel so sad to end it here, because our talk is very interesting. On a promise that you would could have another episode on the Breakfast Show next week, inshallah. Dr. Shahira Al Gayyar, you are a change management and developing human capabilities consultant. Thank you so much for this valuable information and that visit to the Breakfast Show. And you have a beautiful day.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck to you. And we're going to go to a short break. We'll come to continue the Breakfast Show, so stay with us.